What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Conversations with Luciana. I am your hostess with the mostest. I wanted to talk to you guys, having a real conversation. I had a thought to myself, and then, I haven't talked it over, discussed it with my manager yet, but it's coming. I was doing some paperwork today, trying to get things in order. And I realized that anytime you're trying to do something for self, start a business, write a book, do a podcast, become an actor or actress, whatever you're trying to do in life requires some sacrifice, right? Despite what the world says, you can't have it all. Not at one time. You can oversaturate your brain with the stuff that you want to do. I mean, it's just like you don't get no sleep. Your brain constantly is going. And I've been decided that what I'm doing is so important to me that something has to give. Something has to give. I have to give up something. In order to gain something, I'm going to have to get something. Give up something, I should say. So I'm sitting there putting papers together, and I'm thinking, what do I want to do? I want to be able to market myself in such a way that it requires me to work less. No, it may require me to work more, but less hours. What I mean by that is podcasting, being on the radio, being a talk show host, whatever the next level God wants me to be at, it requires some sacrifice. It requires me giving up some stuff, not really staying focused, staying true, putting my, head down and just grinding it out. Not that I'm not seeing what's around me, but I can't let stuff like putting papers in a folder for 3 or 4 hours. That's my job, and I don't mind doing that. But that's not the career path that I want to do for the next 5 years. It's not something I want to do. I don't want to be in a car commuting for 2 to 3 hours somewhere where I'm feeling unfulfilled, where people get on my last goddamn nerves. And I know brighter days don't let people zap your energy, all that, but it's like you leave a place that depletes you in order to go home and start working on something that enhances you, that gives you joy. If you're not doing something that gives you joy, peace, or set accomplishment, some sort of accomplishment, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, this is not what I want to freaking do. I mean, it's great. It's fun. Sometimes, you get to talk about certain things with people, but you're missing the mark. You're missing your calling. And so I'm sitting here getting ready to go into the office. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go there and I give to people, talk to people. I'm giving 100%. That 100% for these 4 hours that I'm giving to people, I can be invested in my business, in my brand. I just realized I was seeing somebody. I tell you, I follow this comedian. He's hella funny, David A. Arnold, and he posts. But he's doing what he loves, number one, and he's doing the work. And sometimes we want to criticize. I'm not criticizing him at all because I don't want him to clap back at me. But sometimes we want stuff to happen overnight. It requires work. Either you're going to work for somebody and do their job, do what they say, or you're going to do what you do. You're going to do what you want to do. Not in instances not where you just kind of like, you just, you want to, pay the bills. You definitely want to do that. You want to have some type of income or something, but it's the difference when you're working for yourself and you're doing something because you get paid by people saying, I listen to you. I find you hilarious. You make sense. That's a paycheck. That's a paycheck. Not that, you go to work for 4 hours, you're going to get paid this rate to do this job, and that's it. They ain't going to give you no extra for being there 5.5 hours. They only going to pay you for the hours that they told you they was going to pay you for. And that was it. If you go above and beyond, they don't give a shit. They don't care. They be like, okay, well, thank you. But if you go over 5 hours and you don't take a break, then I'm going to have to write you up. The stupid shit that you got to put up with companies. It's not stupid. It's actually their rules. But, because some people would just work. But I'm sitting there at a desk and getting ready to go back to the desk. I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to do this for the next 5 years. I'm not going to quit in a blaze of glory, and I'm not going to do something dumb to get me let go. But I'm like, you know what? I need to have that passion. You need to have that passion. You need to tap in to whatever it is that you want to do and go for it. Go for broke. You can't fail. You cannot fail living your dream. You can't. But you can't get anywhere if you just sitting back waiting for the dream just to happen. I said this before. Social media gives people a false sense of fucking reality. Okay, I should stop cussing because I want kids to be able to hear this. But I want you to understand that you see something, they have to work to get there, and they have to work to stay there. If they're one-dimensional, they got to do that one thing. I adapt to any situation. I try to because I like people. I do. I like talking to people. I like, stirring the pot. But I stir the pot only to get you to get all the ingredients. Get at the bottom. Get the sides. And I'm going to pour everybody a bowl of this soup. Or like I say, this gumbo that I can't eat anymore because shrimp and me don't agree. But anyway, I digress. I just think social media made it seem like it's so easy. It's not anything worth having and worth keeping. It requires substantial sacrifice and work. It takes work. Social media think like you can go from one post, one video can send you to a whole nother level that you may not be ready for. You have to answer to sponsors. You have to answer to, your management company. You have to answer to the demand. If you change something, they're going to want to know why. If you take a break, they're going to know why. If somebody feels that you're not giving them their props for helping you, they're going to try to trash you. It's a game. It's a game. And it makes you feel like you can't win. Yes, you can be being true to yourself, but living not for people approval. But if you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I like who the fuck I see, then that's great. Now, with that being said, as I was sitting there having some me time, I'm not talking out loud because I don't want people to think I'm nuts, but I'm in my head. I'm like, okay, God got to work some things out. But are you really ready for that level? Are you ready for that stage? Anybody can say that they're ready until they shove a mic into your face. Anybody can say that they're ready. You can say that you're ready, but are you? Are you ready? You can pretend, but people know a fake or phony when they see it. I don't care how good your game is and your conversation is. People can see through that. But yeah, social media, everybody wants to say something until it's being recorded and you can play it back. It's unfortunate, but as I'm sitting there, I'm thanking God for every step I make towards living my dream. And I said that I would take that leap of faith. I'm not going to be hesitant. I'm going to go. But this time, when I go, I'm going to be as prepared as I should be. I'm going to enjoy the fact that you're hiding me. You're strengthening me. You're giving me wisdom. You're giving me discernment. You're giving me the ability to, when I speak confidence. I'm not going to sit there and say I don't mess up. I'm not going to live in a false sense of reality. I'm not going to let social media take me down because I feel like I have to fit their description of what I'm supposed to be. No. This started a long time ago, this journey. And sometimes people make it look like it happened overnight. It didn't happen overnight. You're going to lose some friends. So you're going to lose some friends. I got some people that don't talk to me now. I mean, they don't talk to me for whatever reason. Whatever reason that they did, they decided to walk away from me. Bye. I don't chase after nobody, because what I finally realized is this particular walk, I have to do it alone. Not really alone, but I can't deal with people who are going to distract me. People who's going to try to change me. If you live your life with people, you'll never live your life. You'll live the life that they want you to live. You're not going to live your life. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do it. That's it. Conversation with Luciana is something that was birthed during the, it was before the pandemic, but it really came into fruition when the pandemic, the year before, somebody spoke into my life. The next year, Conversation with Luciana was started. And this year, it's completion. It's like, let's go. I'm not going to, I don't want to be, don't get me wrong, I don't knock people who do this every day. They grind it out, but to me, if you're not living your purpose, are you really living, or are you just living to exist? Or are you just existing? So yeah, I had that hard conversation with myself. Someone had told me, oh, you should go on this, social media group and promote. Man, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be associated with that. I seen the worst in people on certain apps. I see people, like I said, Fantasy Island. I see them try to portray a life that's not really them. It's just, it's for entertainment. This podcast is entertainment. It's funny to me, but it's also insightful. If I don't reach nobody else but one person, that's great for me. But it's helping me develop that confidence, that reassurance that I am on the right path. I'm doing what I was born to do. So, you hear me, I was like, oh, I shouldn't promote. Yes, you should promote. Who gonna do it? Who gonna do it? If you don't do it, it takes all of that. It takes all of that. Because when you get to that level, it's going to require more of that. You might have a team behind you doing it, but it's still going to require you to work. The difference is you're not looking for that paycheck at the end of the week. You're looking, how can you improve? How can you get better? That's what you're looking for. If you want to be a household name, that's great. But if you want to be global, where people know you from all over the world, that takes work. Everybody can't be, you can't take everybody with you. You know, you can't maintain, you can work in an 80-hour work week and have a 100-hour business that you're trying to do. You're going to kill yourself. So yeah, that being said, I was like, it's time for me to tap out. Said, oh no. And stop caring so much about what other people's going to think. I was going to say something, but I'm trying not to say F them. I'm going to say F them. People are always going to have an opinion of you. You know, how many people have went to college and got a degree in something and work in the field that because their parents or somebody told them they had to do that, only to find that they left you empty, unfulfilled. Now, some people are doing what they want to do. They find some enjoyment. Accounting, people love doing accounting. I think it's boring. I'm not going to do the debits and the credits because it's more than the plus and the minuses, as people think. It's not that easy. It's not a web-based or software that you can do accounting. You got to know it, right? And some people, you have to have a love for it because you wouldn't do it if you didn't have some type of love for it. And people are fascinated when you sit down with an accountant. I'm not talking to the person to do your taxes. I'm talking about somebody in a business accounting, and they can just do all those numbers. They know what all that means. They went to school for that. Social media has taken the place of school because it thinks that it can come to you overnight. It can't. It requires work, dedication. I'm pick accounting. I don't know why. Maybe because Shelly does it. But I'm just saying, you have to pay attention to detail. You have to know that you know. It has to be absolute. It is absolute. That's what accounting is. There is no margin for error. Either the money is there or it's not. You can inflate the numbers, and when it come down to it, somebody come and look and say, no, bottom line, you broke. You in the red. You ain't got no money. That's how you should look when you're building your brand. That's how you should look when you're trying to start a business. That's how you should look. The money will come. The money is secondary. You got to pay the bills first. You got to have money to pay the bills, but you got to know. You got to know it. Somebody can walk up to me and tell me. They can shove a mic in my face. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm ready to do this. You may not like me. You don't have to like me. I'm not here on this earth for you to like me, but you will remember me. You damn sure will remember me. I'm gonna tell you this funny story, then I'm gonna go. Conversation with you, Luciana, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And I don't want to talk about relationships too much because, you know, I'm not in one, so who am I to talk about one? But I'm telling you, I have been in one in the past. I'm gonna tell you something. And things don't work out. Things don't work out for whatever reason. I don't care. I remember, this is something I'm gonna share. I was pregnant with my youngest son. I didn't want to do that relationship no more. I was like, I'm done. I said, I'm checked out. I'm tired of your lying, womanizing ways. I'm tired. I said, they was never raised in a tension filled house where they saw their dad and I go at it. Nah, it wasn't a child's place to be an adult business. Some of y'all need to catch it. It ain't a child's place to figure out adult business. They don't need to be in the mix with that. But nevertheless, so I was just like, man, I remember I was walking one day and I was at work and I was walking on this dock. I was 6 months in to a 3 months more, 9 month sentence. Some of y'all people who carry children know what that means. And then because I had 2 little ones at home too. And I said, oh, I don't want to do this no more. I said, I don't want to do this no more. It was nothing that happened. It wasn't, this was the final straw. It was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I left. I was like, I'm out. I don't want to do this. Don't care what you're doing. Don't really care no more. And I left. I didn't have a clue what I was going to do, but I know I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to do that because I had a strong foundation. I definitely had a strong foundation. I definitely was brought up in a home where my father and mother were very strict. My father wasn't so strict, but my father was, everybody knows how I feel about my dad. But, I was raised different and not knocking it. So imagine coming from a 2-parent home to being a single parent. Yikes. But I knew what I wanted for my children. I knew what I wanted for myself. Right? So I left. I bounced. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I didn't ask that man for nothing. I didn't want nothing. I'm like, we gonna make it. Now, did I struggle? Absolutely, I struggled. And I'm not saying because it was by choice. I struggled because I'm a tough SOB. My father did not make things easy for me. He made me really tough to raise 3 boys. To raise them and to do a good job. I did a good job. But yeah, I took a leap. I said, I don't want to do this. I didn't want to do this, so I left. I didn't get into this whole war. I didn't let people talk about their dad. I didn't talk about their father in a negative light. I didn't do nothing. He was out there living his life and I was living mine. As long as my kids were protected and loved and they were provided for, I didn't need a bag from him. I went out and made it, the bag. I made sure my kids, I tell them all the time, you guys were the poorest little rich kids I ever met. There were times where I struggled. Yeah, there were times where I struggled. There was times when my family talked mess about me. Horrible things. But you know what? I look at my legacy and say I did pretty good for a single mom. Did I make mistakes? Absolutely, I did. I didn't try to teach my sons how to be men because they had my dad as an example. They had someone to look up to. They had people that they respected. So they didn't see a revolving door because my job was to protect and to raise them. So I had to make sacrifices. If that means my personal life was on hold, it was on hold. They didn't choose to be here. I brought them here. So that was my choice. So anyway, as I continue on to my story, I'm just telling you, I'm being honest, I'm being transparent. I had to start from scratch. I had to. And that's with my baby. I had to start from scratch. I had to take a leap of faith. Nobody really believed that I was going to make it. I was supposed to be a statistic. My children were supposed to be a statistic. And I wasn't one of those hardcore mom that, I'm going to rule with the iron fist, or I wasn't the cool mom where I'm having I wasn't that. I was me. And if I wasn't good enough, then I wasn't good enough. But you can say it was all me. Love me, hate me, but you will not disrespect me. You will not do that. So I took upon myself to go, and I did it. But, the exes, they moved on with their lives. God bless them. God bless them and all their body parts. All of them. I do not care. It wasn't about them. It was about me. It was. And so I survived that. I did not blame my children for the choices that I made. I'm not going to blame somebody for the choices that I made doing this podcast. If you don't like it, don't listen. I hope y'all do listen, because I'm a hoot. But yeah, that's it. You got to make sacrifices. You make choices, and not everybody's going to agree with your choices. But when they see you, they know you, they admire you, they respect you. You may have earned their respect more than you think because you didn't settle. You took chances. You took risk. You spoke when spoken to, you spoke up. You did the damn thing. You didn't need anybody else constant. There was nobody there in my home saying good job. My proof was every day when I saw their face. So this to me is personal. It's a personal story. They may not like you, but they will remember you. My exes remember me. They remember me. You can have fond memories of me. I would never return back to vomit. That's kind of harsh, huh? But that's what I feel. I was not going to deal with that. Did not want to deal with that. I'm good. But they will remember me. But the part that they probably remember more, and I remember my ex saying is that, you know, she's there, but when she don't care nothing about me. She don't care nothing about me. She's there for the kids. I'm there for the people. I don't care what you say about me. I'm going to show up and show off every single day. I'm going to be me 100%, not 150. I'm going to match your energy, exceed your expectations. Because I know where I came from. I know where I'm going. I know my value. I exceeded my worth. I don't need people to tell me, oh yeah, no. It's nice. But that doesn't motivate me. That doesn't put gas in my car to fuel my tank. A challenge to rise above, to do something people don't expect you to do. And secretly they want you to fail. And when you show them by doing the opposite, hey, I'm not going to come back and say, remember me, look at me. I ain't going to do that. I'm going to be like, what you say? Hey, how you doing? I'm going to treat you with the same type of respect that I deserve that you didn't get from me. But you don't faze me. You don't faze me at all. You didn't make me. You didn't break me. So you can't take anything away from me. Self-made. Self-made. Thank you for joining Conversation with Luciana. Let me go in there and give these people my 2 fingers. Peace, and I'm out. Follow me, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. This was nice. I'm encouraged. I might actually have to listen to this one again because I'm speaking facts. I'm speaking facts. Stop letting social media raise your children. Be a parent, be an aunt, be an uncle, be a role model. Everything don't have to be seen on social media. It's behind the scenes that matters. Behind the scenes. Stay true to you. I'm out.